Hey everybody, thought I'd give you a quick tour around the garden this Memorial Day. Of course, the most beautiful thing is still these wonderful coneflowers, and then I've got that agastache behind it, which is blooming so beautifully, and then that purple buddleia, just so wonderful. I'm already trimming it back a little bit, and then you can see that Peter's purple Monarda way back in the back. This is the last cleome left in the garden. It probably needs to get pulled out. It's got that powdery mildew going on, so I just trimmed the bottom off and made it kind of look a little bit like a tree. But it's sort of blocking the view from the house, and it's got that powdery mildew, so I'm not sure how long I'm going to leave it there. One of the things I've been doing today is pulling out annuals that have sort of gone over, but since this is a new garden, I really plan to just fill in with those annuals while the new perennials were getting closer to their regular size, their ultimate size. So I was really planning to pull them out, although it's hard to pull plants out that still are cute here and there. This wonderful daylily, just doing great right now by the pond, which needs a little help. It needs to be worked on. It's sort of dribbly right now. And then the rose is doing really nicely, and more coneflower. And then this is a Salvia greggii. It's white, and it's getting ready to bloom all over again. And then you can see one of my problems with this Gulf muley, pink muley grass, and it just the grass blades were just so floppy, and I was getting ready to dig it up, and then I just decided I was going to chop off the bottom and see what happened, and it looks 100 times better. And then you can see how some of those annuals have given way, and I've pulled them out, and you can see right in here it's a big empty spot, but now because it has all this light, it's got a huge weed problem. So underneath all of that mulch right there is a bunch of cardboard, just to see if I can kill those weeds. One of my favorite little threadleaf coreopsis just really came back nicely. It froze all the way down to the ground and just came back. I'm real pleased with that. And then the agastache over here, a different variety. This is the one that smells like licorice. Just looks really pretty today. It's finally come out. And then this is this fun thing. I don't really have any orange in the garden, but I have these little corms of crocosmia that have never done anything. And this year, I got that, which is just amazing. So all the plants you can see have sort of flopped over, but that hasn't really stopped it from blooming so beautifully. And the grasses, my unknown grass, is blooming. And then I've got more daylilies coming out, and the dahlia is back there. And then again, these are things that I'm thinking about. Their time is coming. They're nice zinnias, but all this powdery mildew is just, it's not attractive. So it may be time to pull those out. And then this bee balm is so fabulous. And then I trimmed all the flowers off of this Salvia big blue, and so it's getting ready to come back out. And then here again, I've taken things out. I'm just editing out. See, I've got a space here. I cut the foxglove out, but it's giving, this needs room, this beautiful grass needs room, and this salvia needs room. And back in here, there's a big lily, crinum lily, and it needs some space. And then again, this buddleia needs space coming this way. And so I've trimmed out a lot of stuff that either just didn't look good or was an annual that was not going to bloom anymore. So I went ahead and pulled it out. So I've got some gaps, but they'll fill in with that when these perennials get mature. So this, I pulled out a bunch of cosmos, which it hurt my heart to cut them out because they were blooming a little bit, but you can see, I don't know if you can see on the video, how this is a much smaller, less full side, and how full that is. Well, it's been crowded right here with those cosmos, and so I went ahead and pulled them out because I want this to fluff up. And then here I've got this sort of corralled so that it will get tall and pretty and purple, but again, not crowd this out. And then this is crowding these little zinnias. They look great from the house, like looking out the kitchen window. So that's why I've left these, even though they've got powdery mildew and they are crowding this. I planted them way too close to this grass. But I'm leaving them because they look good from the out by the house. And then this is the new thing I planted, these little grasses. I actually bought these thinking I was going to pull that Gulf Muley out, and then I clipped it back and liked it. So then I had, a whole bunch of this left over. So this is a little blue stem, and it's a native Texas grass. I've never grown it. It has a little bit of a blue hue to it, little gray, and it should get maybe, I think, 3 or 4 feet tall. So I'm hoping that looks nice. You can see I've got a big empty space here. I've just got the frog fruit like as a little ground cover, and I had some hollyhocks in here that just all they had was rust, and they weren't ever going to bloom, and so I just pulled them out. And then we've got nice things coming. This giant salvia here, it does so well, but it doesn't have very showy flowers unless you're right up close to them. They sort of disappear. You can see they're deep purple. They just don't show up. I've thought for years I should maybe replace it, but I don't really have a plan of what I would replace it with. And this really is looking pretty. It's coming up through this Mexican bush sage, the Salvia leucantha. It's coming up through there. I think it'll look great. And then I did, again, a lot of editing. This cute little euphorbia, diamond frost, it self-seeds everywhere, and it had gotten in amongst these roses. This is the Rockwall sesquicentennial rose, and it really was sort of crowding it out, and so I pulled a bunch of it. I pulled it all out of here, and then I added some leaf mulch, which I'm going to show you all in a minute, my awesome leaf pile. And then things back here are looking really nice. The 4 o'clocks, these hot pink 4 o'clocks are filling in, and then after being in the ground really since the big freeze a year and a half ago, these if I can get a picture of a pretty one, these shrimp plant that have the hot pink and the lime green together are finally, getting a couple of feet tall and are looking really nice. And then back there I've got that sort of coral pink Turk's cap, and then this giant red one that was so big we tried to dig it up and couldn't get it out, so I guess it stays. And then I've had a little project going on here, so replanting some succulents. And then I'm always reevaluating what I want to do for next year. I'm always thinking about next year. And so this Kufia, which I've shown before, it's so pretty, and it's pink with a tiny, tiny bit of lavender. But again, it's so tiny that it's just not showing up as, any color. It's not very showy. And so even though it does really well and froze down and came back, I'm a little tempted next year to tear it out and see if I can find something I like better. I've got this little bee balm that's came up from seed, and it's all floppy. I put some little supports in there just to get it off of the Gulf Coast penstemon, which is just looking so pretty for so much longer than I thought it would, because I'm a first-time grower of this. I just didn't know how well it would do, and it's done really well. And this was so sad. I grew these from seed. This is supposed to be scabiosa pincushion flower, and it's just looked awful ever since I planted it from seed. So as soon as it started getting tall, I had given up on it already and put in some new caladiums. So I'm hoping that'll puff that out a little better. And this is that fire spike. This one's red, but I've got a little pink one there and a little pink one over there that I brooded this year, but they're just fleshing out really nicely. And then over here, this, you know, it's bloomed for a couple of weeks now, and so it's got a little tinge of pink on the back of those flowers, which I think is really pretty. And then this little combo, I'm really pleased with that combination of fern and then this iris and then some little caladiums and then this diamond frost again, Forbia. And then these are my favorite. Oh my goodness, so pretty. And I'm excited. This little begonia is already getting bigger, and this one's getting ready to bloom as well. And then what I was going to end on, oh, not quite. This is a crinum lily that I dug up from the front yard, and it's just about, that flower's about 2 feet tall. Last year, when it was still in the front in full sun, the flower spikes were 6 feet tall. So I'm glad that it's actually, I never expected it to bloom. Again, this year we just dug it up, ripped it apart, stuck it in the ground, gave some away. But here it is blooming. It's blooming in the front yard too. And then what I wanted to show you that was so fun is this huge leaf pile. It's already just made its way down. I bet it's just shrunk down a foot just sitting here. And then today I needed some more mulch, and so I got in here and I thought, well, I'll just add some leaves. And then I dug around in here, my little pitchfork, and you can see that all I've done, this has only been here for a couple of months, and all it's done is sit here, but I've already got some really nice sort of damp half broken down leaf mulch, which I just used in with my mulch today, and it just looks fabulous. And then of course there's my wisteria, which is, I don't know how in the world to deal with it now that it's bigger than our little diamond pattern. So I'm not sure what to do with it. Anyway, thank you for looking. I always appreciate people who are interested. Thanks a lot.